The track, 3 semifinal heats in the men's 800. Donovan Frazier has the championship record and Michael Cerrone the collegiate record. Same qualifying. Top two and next 3 times, the next fastest times, as we're looking down in lane 2 to the junior from Georgia, Claiborne Pender.
Pender third at the SEC Outdoor Championships in a really interesting 800-meter race. We'll tell you a little bit more about that as we go on. But in the outside lane, keep an eye on lane number 7. This is Amon Zahafi from Florida. He's a senior from Morocco. His brother will run in the next heat. Amon has gone 1:46.79, while his brother has gone in the 1:43s to lead the world.
They'll stay in their lanes until the backstretch, then cut for the pole. Again, the top 2 finishers in the next 3 fastest times over the 3 semifinals. So you really can't dog it here. And Clemson's Amon Thornton taking up the lead. Took the diagonal line right to the 200-meter mark, running the least distance that he possibly could. Zahafi there in third currently, with Pender right in front of him. As Thornton leading through the first lap in 51.8. Good solid pace, not crazy fast, not terribly slow, but you can see there's quite a bunch up there with those 8 athletes right in it.
Well, we bunch up here with the third 200 meters of this race, the most difficult part of this race. You see Zahafi now just open up his stride just a little bit. You could tell he was running very reserved for that first 400 meters as he gets challenged on the outside from the Iowa State runner, Gomez.
Jason Gomez now into the lead with Zahafi second. And Pender right there still looks like he's full of run. And for Texas, that is Yusuf Bizamana from Great Britain. So it is Jason Gomez with a little bit of daylight between him and the other runners, and Bizamana. Those are the top 2, with Pender finishing third. So he's got to wait for 2 semifinals. Or I should say Gomez finishing third. He's got to wait for 2 semifinals to see if his time holds up. 1:47.02 for the winner, Gomez.
Well, Jason Gomez, he matches his personal best to the exact second. But there you see Bizamana, there you see Zahafi. He made a move with about 2:50 to go, but it caused Gomez to also make a move. But it looked like Gomez was the one who had better momentum. And you see Claiborne Pender in third position right there. He always looks distressed, but he keeps on buzzing away. But it was Zahafi on the inside from Texas as well. Again, Dwight, somebody sneaking through on the inside of the lane, and you're saying that should never happen. But easy finish for Jason Gomez.
Yeah, Jason Gomez did a nice job. We always say when you hit it, you got to hit it and you got to go. And Jason Gomez hit it from all the way at the back of the pack and came away with the victory here in the semifinal.
So it's Pender and Zahafi that are the ones that have to be concerned about what the times are in these next 2 semifinal heats. But Gomez through with the win, 1:47.02. Bizamana ends up second, and Pender and Zahafi have got to wait for about 10 minutes to try to figure out what's going to happen. Well, we have the first day of the decathlon started today. Let's go over to Dan for the first event of that 10 event.
Well, believe it or not, the NCAA record in the decathlon has been broken twice this year. Once by that man, Kyle Garland. There you see his teammate, Johannes Erm, his 2019 NCAA champion. And that young man, Aiden Owens de Lerma, he broke the NCAA record earlier in April. And they were all in the final heat of the decathlon 100 meters. Aiden Owens de Lerma from Arkansas, he gets a great start, ran in the 10:20s earlier this season. But here he would manage just over 10:40. Good start for him. And he would take an early lead in this decathlon. We had a little bit of a tragedy. Georgia senior Johannes Erm, the SEC champion just a couple of weeks ago, he finished 100 meters very, very slowly. He would move on, but then he would drop out after this. But after the first event, de Lerma 996 points. Kyle Garland, the U.S. runner-up in second place.
And you can watch all the decathlon action on the ESPN app. Day 2 tomorrow. We will have the conclusion of the 1,500 meters later in the meet tomorrow, and the conclusion of day 1, the 400 meters, later today, as we get ready for the second semifinal heat featuring another Zahafi brother, Moad Zahafi, who competes for Texas Tech.
Talked to the athletic trainer at Texas Tech earlier, and he was banged up a little bit midway through the outdoor season. Frank Perez is his name, and he gave me the info. He said Zahafi is ready to go, absolutely healthy. Then we see Louis Peralta of Oregon on the outside. He'd be in that 8th position, but he continues a long tradition of good 800-meter runners, most recently Charlie Hunter of Australia, who represented Oregon this last year, and then he would represent Australia at the Olympic Games. But Peralta keeping that middle distance history alive for the University of Oregon, and he'll get big cheers down the home straight.
I was going to say, whoa, guys, what's going on here? We don't do false starts in 800, all right? You guys got to hold your horses and get out there and run.
So they line up again. Zahafi of Texas Tech just saw his brother finish 4th, and he will be hoping to get through on a time qualifier, but now it's time to run his race. He's starting out in lane 5, and Louis Peralta of Oregon, you can see him in the green. He's out there in lane number 8 as they now break for the pole.
Well, he's not just the national leader. Zahafi's just not the national leader. He's the world leader, and so he's definitely going to be the man to beat. But he's the kind of guy who can take out the pace, just crush everybody from the beginning, or he can sit and just wait and kick. But you see, I love the fact that he's getting up front. He's pushing these other guys out of their comfort zone. Because when you're 143 and the rest of this group is 146, your comfort zone is a little bit different than everybody else's.
Let's see what he takes the first 400 out, and it looks pretty slow, to be honest. It's going to be 52.2, so a leisurely pace for Zahafi. And it looks like he's drags along Van Dorp and Luis Peralta.
And to Dan's point, and you as well, Dwight, that's what makes Zahafi such a dangerous runner. He can run it any kind of way you want to. If you take it out, he'll just sit in your back pocket like he did to Brandon Miller at Tom Jones. If he wants to take it out, he can, and he's got a strong kick in that last 150 meters of the race. So let's see if he can showcase that right here.
That's Sean Dolan of Villanova in second. As Peralta now starting to fade back to 4th. That won't make the crowd very happy. But Zahafi controlling the race from the front. It's pretty intimidating. He's run the 3rd fastest time in collegiate history with that world-leading 1:43.69, and he's showing why he has dominated this distance this year. It's going to be Zahafi winning it easily, and Dolan finishing 2nd and automatically qualifying. And I'm not sure who that was for 3rd. We'll take a look. And the time definitely faster than heat number 1, so a time qualifier is possible from this heat. Dayton Carlson of Arizona State was 3rd. $146.66 for Zahafi off of 52.2 and made it look like nothing.
Well, this is what we have come to expect from Moad Zahafi, but I'll tell you, I got to give props to Sean Dolan from Villanova. Ran a lot of miles this season. He was 6th in the indoor mile, and he drops down to the 800 meters. That really shows a lot about his range and his ability to run between 1,500 meters and 800 meters, but that man is going to be tough to beat.
So Zahafi wins it easily at 146.66. Sean Dolan looking very strong in second, 146.96. And Dayton Carlson, Baylor Franklin have to wait and see what happens in this 3rd and final semifinal. The bubble time, 147.81. That is Baylor Franklin. He is the bubble. Third and final semifinal heat, getting their last warm-ups on the track. And this semifinal heat features SEC champion and NCAA indoor champion, sophomore Brandon Miller from Texas A&M.
Little cause for concern when we saw Brandon Miller run at the SEC championships, Dwight. He got his mojo back, it seemed like, at the regionals, but at the SEC championships outdoors, he was 3rd. Navasky Anderson took that title, and like some others at Oxford, Mississippi, it looked like the heavy humidity and the heat was affecting Brandon Miller. He just wasn't his usual self, but you know he's going to step up to the line. He's going to run it the Texas A&M way, and that is to push the pace, lead it, make everybody hurt through the first 600 meters. There you see Navaski Anderson just to his outside, a real breakthrough race for him as he ran 1:45.89 to win that SEC outdoor title.
Miller suffered in that race, finished 6th when he was in contention coming off the final turn. So it's Miller in 5, Navaski Anderson, the SEC champion, right outside of him in lane number 6. So Brandon Miller is a classic front runner the way they coach him at Texas A&M. It would surprise me if he didn't fight for and get the pole here. Indeed, it is Brandon Miller with the early lead. Navaski Anderson right there behind him, the SEC champion. And Abdullahi Hassan of Wisconsin there in the red with the W on front. Right there in the mix as well. Miller doesn't like to take it out too slow either. Look to see him take it out the fastest of the 3 semifinals.
And when you talk to Pat Henry, head coach at Texas A&M, you ask him, he's like, well, how are these guys going to run it? He said, we're going to run it the Texas A&M way, and we've seen them do this year in, year out, both on the men's side and the women's side, but they like to push the pace. They like to get out early, and then they really like to press it this third 200, make everybody work to that 600 point, and then just bring it home. Navaski Anderson showing some real guts here, as this is his first NCAA Outdoor Championships.
It's 51 and a little bit of change for Brandon Miller. That's the way he likes to run it. And for Lipscomb, that is Jonathan Schwinn that's right there hanging in there in third with Navaski Anderson, the SEC champion, right there in the middle from Mississippi State. Miller looking to go wire to wire in this third and final semifinal, unless Anderson decides he wants to make a point. It's Anderson and Miller shoulder to shoulder coming down 1 and 2. It is going to be Anderson with the actual victory, and Miller right there for second. Lipscomb's Jonathan Schwinn, the senior, getting third. Did he run fast enough to get under the bubble? We're waiting for the results to see. It looks like he's going to have done that. Yes, he did at 1:46.40. He will advance on time. But it looks like we could have a replay of the SEC championship. There was the SEC titleist right there in a personal best. Looked awfully easy here in this third semifinal.
Well, you get a chance to see 2 real different body types and running styles here down the stretch. But Navaski's, I don't care if it's a semifinal or not. I am going to lean and get this win. But Brandon Miller on the inside, always just grinding it out with those good arms. He knows how to finish, but good run for those guys. And you know what? Excellence recognizes excellence.
Great sportsmanship, right? Greatness recognizes greatness. And I just like the way that Brandon Miller responded after that SEC championship, coming back, being able to do well at regionals, and then here now he gets into the final. He's probably a little annoyed there at the end because he led the whole way and gave up the victory, but still got into the final. Now he can do some damage.
Well, there are the official times, and all of the time qualifiers came from that third and final semifinal. That is really an example of what a huge advantage it is to be in the final race when you know what you got to run. It really worked well for those bottom 3 with a small Q right next to him. Navaski Anderson, Brandon Miller. It's going to be a hot one on Friday in the 800 meters.